We're about to get into a Giants Mailbag where I answer your guys' questions. This show aired on our live show that goes down every single Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central Time. So subscribe, turn your notifications on, and join us next Wednesday when we go live. Because look, if you want to be a part of these mailbags, it's a two-step process. You got to be at our live shows, and you got to be a subscriber. So be a real one. Hit that big red button and turn your notifications on. This first question in coming from Nick the Realist. He says, what are you expecting from Wan'Dale Robinson? I'm going to answer this question as if we're talking about week one. It's going to be a wide receiver depth chart. Wan'Dale Robinson, I'm expecting big things from him, and I'm expecting the Giants to use him in a multitude of ways. Go back to his college days when he started before he got to Kentucky. He was used as a running back, and then he switched to wide receiver, and now he's just an athlete. He's just a playmaker. You just want to get him the football in space. He offers a similar skill set, in my opinion, to a guy like Kadarius Toney, but I think he's actually a better deep threat than Toney. And I think we're going to see that a little bit this year. I expect Wan'Dale Robinson to play good football this weekend. I don't necessarily know if he'll score a touchdown, but I expect him to have at least 5-6 touches on offense, maybe a handoff, maybe a pitch pass, maybe a shovel pass, and a couple receptions. Overall, though, for the season, I'm expecting a big year from the rookie, Wan'Dale Robinson. I want to ask you guys this question, though. Does Wan'Dale Robinson score this week? Does it happen? Does he get to the end zone? Does he hold up this number? And does he score a touchdown? I'll ask you this. Y for yes and for no. Sound off in the comment section right now. We got a $2 super chat from my guy, M. Dillinger. He said, I did hashtag. Scroll up. Trace, you're going to have to find that question now, but let me know if you got a question. Hashtag Giants in the comment section. I'm seeing one that just came in. He said, why do you think they cut Bachman? I thought he had potential and energy we need. Did he even make it to the practice squad, or am I missing something? That one coming in from M. Dillinger. The reason Bachman got cut was just a numbers game. He was the 8th guy, and we kept 7. The reason he's not on the practice squad is because the Giants want him to be a practice squad player, and he didn't view himself as that. The rumors are that he didn't want to be on a practice squad, and especially not the Giants, because they didn't put him on the active roster after he felt he deserved a spot. Played great in week 2 of the preseason. What do you have, 11 receptions, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns? I like Bachman, but imagine the success Bachman had on those routes and turn it into Toney or Robinson. Those guys are just better athletes and better football players, and they're faster, they're more explosive. Bachman had a whole bunch of room to run after his catches. Imagine it being Toney or Wan'Dale Robinson in those same situations. I'm expecting both those guys to have good years. Good question, and thank you for the super chat, my guy. Jay Sports Card, who will lead the Giants in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns? Great question. Man, this is going to be such a cop-out answer here, but I just think it's the one that stays healthy, right? If Golladay stays healthy, if Sterling Shepard stays healthy, if Kadarius Toney stays healthy, it'll be him. I'll go out on a limb here, though. I'll say it will be Kadarius Toney. I think Toney will live up to the hype of being that first-round draft pick that he was last year. Didn't score a touchdown, only just 420 yards last year. Give me Kadarius Toney for 66 grabs, 750 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's what I got Kadarius Toney this season. Ricky, will Daniel Jones have less than 2 interceptions versus the Titans? I hope so, because if he doesn't, the Giants are probably going to lose the football game. Usually if you have multiple turnovers on the offensive end, you don't win football games. And I like Daniel Jones. I think he still has a lot to prove. He wants to be the Giants franchise quarterback going forward. But I see some good in him. I also see some bad in him. I think if he could just eliminate the what the F plays, the WTF plays, where you're just like, what the hell was that? A little bit of Eli in him, you know what I'm saying? If he can get that out of his system, I think Daniel Jones can be a competent starter in the NFL. I hope he throws less than two interceptions. I think the Giants are going to come out and run the football a lot this upcoming week. And for that reason, I'll say yes. I think less than 2 interceptions this week against the Titans. He said it was his first time, but he's coming in with the bang. Shout out to my guy, M. Dillinger. A $20 super chat says, thanks for answering my question and making this channel. Here's something extra. Wow, that is mad love. I appreciate you. You are officially now a real one, my guy. Look, we're going to be live every single Sunday for games. We go live every single Wednesday, and we put out videos every single day on the New York Giants. So subscribe. Thanks for being a real one, my guy. You are a real one. Giants George, how are the Giants going to stop Derrick Henry? Great question. I just looked at the comment section. Says fix that hairline. This is who I am at this point. The widow's peak, I would never touch that. You must be a new one here as well. Come on, what do you call that? That's my identity. I am the widow's peak. I'm not changing that. Boosh in the chat. Let's ride. But Giants George says, how are the Giants going to stop Derrick Henry? You got to put 8 in the box, and you got to have Ryan Tannehill beat you. That's the only way it's going to happen, because Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs I think we've ever seen in the NFL. What he's able to do when the ball is in his hands, it's just incredible. This guy is one of the best in the NFL, and it's going to come down to these 4 guys, right? They're going to have to control the line of scrimmage. And if Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari are out, that means Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence are going to have some of their best games of their career. It's that simple. Williams and Lawrence play really freaking good. And I don't know if you can stop Derrick Henry, but can you control him? Can you contain him? That's what you're going to have to do if you want to win this football games. Williams, Lawrence, they got to show out, put 8 in the box, and make Ryan Tannehill beat you with his arm. I think that's your best shot of winning this football game. Speaking of Derrick Henry, good question. We'll ask you guys a question now. 100 yards this game, this Sunday against the Giants. Over or under? 100 yards for Derrick Henry. What are you thinking? Over, under? Cast your votes in the comments right now. Shout out to Mikey. Good to see you, my guy. He says, if we had a mediocre season and picking the team somewhere, what would you be willing to give up to move up for Stroud or Bryce Young? Great question. A lot. I really think that Bryce Young is going to be a special player in the NFL. He gives me Russell Wilson vibes. His ability to buy time in the pocket and use his feet to stretch out plays and make defensive backs cover longer. He's athletic. He can run, but he uses his feet to attack downfield. And that's what I want in my next quarterback. I don't want a runner. I want a mobile guy that can buy time, scramble drill, and uses his athletic ability to throw the ball downfield. What would I give up? The only thing I would say, though, Mikey, is look, say the Texans or the Falcons or another team that's bad finishes with a worse record than us and needs a quarterback. Why aren't they going to take CJ Stroud or Bryce Young? You know what I'm saying? If I was the Giants, I would give up everything, right? Because you're only as good as your quarterback in this league. It's a QB league. And if you got Bryce Young on your team, I like Young over Stroud by a good bit. I'd give up everything, man. Obviously not Thibodeau or Neal, but I'd give up at least 2, maybe 3 first-round picks, a couple second-round picks. I'd do what it takes to get done, because I think Stroud is a guy that can change your franchise. Mr. Cardinal Gaming, my guy, do you think Danny will have a blowout this year? What do you mean by blowout? Do you mean like he's going to break out, like a breakout season? I think it's possible. I think with a new head coach in Brian Daboll, a sophisticated offensive coordinator like Mike Kafka, look, Daniel Jones is hoping that Brian Daboll can do for him like he did for Josh Allen. Not saying that Daniel Jones is Josh Allen. He doesn't have that kind of talent. But I do think that Daboll can make it easy on Jones, and Kafka can make it easy on Jones to where you get the best version of Daniel Jones. I think the question then becomes, what is the best version of Daniel Jones? Can Daniel Jones' best version of himself be a franchise quarterback? Can he be the guy that gets you to the promised land? I don't feel like I have enough information to answer that just yet, because I don't think we've seen Daniel Jones at his best, right? So Can he have a breakout year? Absolutely. Best offensive line he's ever played with. Hopefully the weapons stay healthy. Hopefully Toney, Robinson, Shepard, and Golladay are there. I mean, this is the best football team he's probably ever played on. So for that reason alone, to go along with Dable and Kafka, I would say yes. I think Daniel Jones can break out. I got to wait to see it happen, though. Do you hate the Cowboys? Do you hate the Cowboys? If you do, hit that big red button, because I hate the Cowboys. Trace hates the Cowboys. Anyone that watched this channel better hate the Cowboys. And if you do, if you hate the Cowboys, subscribe to the channel, because we put out videos every single day on the latest Giants news and rumors. What up, Jim? I don't know, Jim. Shout out to Tony Romo. Will Kadarius Toney or Kenny Golladay finally score this week? Great question. As we all know, Kadarius Toney and Kenny Golladay did not score a touchdown last year. Yes, I say one of those guys score a touchdown this week. And I think it's going to be Kenny Golladay. I think the Giants are going to be all in on trying to get him involved early and in the red zone. I think they kind of want to put to bed the stuff of him being a bust. So I would say I think Golladay scores this week. Wouldn't be surprised if it's both. You can bet on who's going to be the first scorer for the Giants. How many touchdowns will Golladay have? Over, under, 7 wins. Just do it with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code CHAT125. When you do those two things, look you guys up with a 125% deposit bonus, which means you put $100 into your account, they'll match it with a free, F-R-E-E, free. You can't get anything for free in today's world, except from BetUS. They'll give you a free $125. So you'll have $225 to bet with. Bet on the Giants money line, and let's get rich. Shout out to Michael. Who will be our best corner this year? Adoree Jackson by far. Next question. It's Adoree Jackson, man. I mean, is it going to be Robinson? Is it going to be Darnay Holmes? We'd love for it to be Cordell Flott, right? Because he was a third-round draft pick, but it's Adoree Jackson. He's a primetime player. Lorosity, how will the Giants stop Treylon Burks? Just by playing defense. I don't think Treylon Burks is ready to be an elite receiver in the NFL. Does he have the talent? Yes. Is he a broken down version of Deebo Samuel? Yes. But look, just play defense. I trust Adoree Jackson or Aaron Robinson to cover Treylon Burks. I'd be more worried about Robert Woods and Ryan Tannehill handing it off to Derrick Henry than I am Treylon Burks, though. Who gets the first TD for the Giants? I say Barkley. I could see it. I could see the Giants having a long drive, finish it off with a Saquon Barkley touchdown. Could we see a play action touchdown pass to Daniel Bellinger in the red zone? I think that's a possibility. But I want to ask you guys this question. Who scores first this season? Neither of them have scored a touchdown so far in their Giants career. So I want to ask you, who scores first this year? Type KT for Kadarius Toney. Type KG for Kenny Golladay.